It was still early, but the pups had already done the dishes, blown bubbles through a straw in the sink, and played follow the leader through the garden. After snack time, we measured all the pups to see how the growing was going. Smudge had grown a whole lot. He was very proud. Farrah had grown half as much, and Tanker a little bit. Everybody was thrilled. Everybody but Dilly, who hadn't grown at all. I told her it would happen soon and went off to check my treads. Before lunch, Smudge and Farrah played hopscotch, and Tanker drew happy faces on the driveway. Dilly hung by her knees from a nearby tree branch. She hoped that she would grow. Tanker wanted her to draw happy faces too, but Dilly told him no thanks. Farrah invited her to play, but Dilly wanted to hang in the tree branch. When Smudge asked if she wanted to go to the park with him, she leapt down. The park was a great idea, so the two friends raced off together. At the park, Dilly climbed up on the monkey bars and hung by her hands. Smudge crawled through the tube, swung as high as he could on the swing, shot down the fireman's pole 6 times, and did a hand-to-hand across the monkey bars. It was on the monkey bar that he came up to Dilly, who was clearly in the way. Smudge asked her to move, but Dilly said she was too busy to move at the moment. She didn't look busy to Smudge, and he pointed that out. She was just hanging on the bars like she hung on the tree branch at home. Dilly smiled. He was right. To the untrained eye, Dilly was doing nothing, but in her mind, she was actually growing. This caused Smudge to let go of the bars and jump down. From below, she looked the same size as always, but Dilly just knew he was wrong. She stayed there to prove it. I have to say that Smudge got a little bored playing in the park because all Dilly wanted to do was hang around growing. So, after a while, he headed for home. That very afternoon, Farrah went to get her favorite video. In the hall, she found Dilly stretched across the floor. She stretched her toes as far as she could to try to touch the opposite wall. Farrah asked her to move, but Dilly explained that it would be much better if Farrah just stepped over her. She was working hard and didn't want to be interrupted. With a grand sigh, Farrah stepped over Dilly and hurried on her way. When Tanker was giving the pups some spins in the backyard, Dilly wanted more and more. She spun until Tanker was so dizzy, he fell right into the azaleas and couldn't stand up for several minutes. Everyone was a little annoyed. Dilly had had the longest turn, but Dilly said she was working on growing and things like that helped. She was absolutely sure. Now, I was in the driveway doing an oil check, and I overheard this. I would have said something, except at that very moment, the alarm rang. 4 pups, everyone who was busy growing, leapt on, and off we went. The call came from Angora, the rabbit's mother, but we weren't sure where to go. She'd found his glasses by the side of the road with no Angora in sight. We drove around calling his name and sounding our siren. It wasn't until we got to Lofty Lookout Cliff that we found Angora hanging on to a pretty shaky branch. Without his glasses, he wasn't able to see which way the safe ground was. Farrah told him to hold on, and immediately the pup set up the fireman's net. Farrah told him that on 3, he was to let go and drop into the safety net below. Angora was a little nervous because he couldn't see the net, but Farrah assured him that the pups and I were down below holding it wide open. On 3, Angora did a brave thing. He let go and bounced into the net with a giggle. He was safe and sound. We drove him home, and his mother placed his glasses on his nose, and he was really glad to see us. He decided that the next time he lost his glasses, he wouldn't move. It wasn't safe because he really couldn't see much without them. He'd need to call someone who could see better to find them for him, and this was a good plan. Back at the fire station, it was supper time. Billy ate twice as much as she usually did. After her second bowl of pudding, she felt a little sick. Then I saw her go to the place on the wall where her height was marked down. She asked me to see how much she had grown that day, and I was sorry to tell her she hadn't grown at all. Billy flopped down on the chair and looked at the floor. Being short had never felt so close to the ground. I rolled in a little closer to the window and told her not to be sad. I understood how hard it was to want something that you just couldn't make happen. Dilly looked at me and pointed out that I was huge, which was true. A little tear rolled down her cheek. All I want, she sniffed, is to be as big as everybody else. Being the smallest is no fun. I told her that one thing was for certain: she would get bigger, but everybody grows at a different rate. I told her being small meant that she could get into the best hiding places, squeeze through the tiniest cracks, and crawl in where everyone else was too big to go, and then one day she'd be too tall to do all those things. She looked up at me, and at that moment I bumped my nose. She giggled, and I was happy to hear her. I told her that I was so big that I couldn't even get into the fire station. And she nodded, got off her chair and leaned out the window and kissed my nose, right on the very spot where I'd bumped it. Then in a wild spin, she was off to tell the pups that she was too busy to grow today, and that one day it would happen no matter what. And she was right. And if you're growing slowly, I'll bet you know that one day, when you least expect it, you'll get bigger too.